Well, hi there, food friends. It's Kevin.
Hello, I'm Ralph, behind the camera.
And welcome to Cavalcade of Food. And today, Ralph,
Cream of corn soup. That's comfort with a capital C.
So yes, we're going to make soup because it is just soup weather right now here in Michigan where we are. It has been a cold snap for going on 2 weeks with no end in sight. And
it's soup season.
Yeah, it's definitely soup season. So Ralph, I just melted 4 tablespoons of butter in a big pot, and I'm adding 1 large onion that I diced up, okay? And we are going to just cook that until it's nice and tender and translucent, the onion that is, okay?
Okay.
Now, when corn is in season, and I'm sure we know it's this way in other parts of the country, here in Michigan, we have some just wonderful sweet corn.
Yes.
And if you can certainly make this soup with fresh corn, the problem is when the corn is really coming in, is usually hot as heck. You know what I'm saying? And it's not when you want a hot bowl of soup in August.
The season isn't
right, you know. So when you want a nice warm bowl of soup is here in the middle of winter time. And so we're using frozen corn. So I've got 2 packages, Ralph, 10 ounces each.
Okay, so
2 10-ounce bags of sweet frozen corn.
Got it.
It's not thawed out, it's just there. So what we're going to do is we're going to, again, cook this. These need to cook maybe about 7 minutes or so.
Getting that familiar, friendly, warm family smell of onions and butter.
Onions and butter, a classic combination. Over here, Ralph, I've just turned this off. I have 2 cups of half and half light cream that I just scalded.
Okay.
So basically, I brought up slowly to a heat until it just started to bubble around the edge of the pan and sort of formed a little skin on the top of the cream, the half and half there. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. So that's called scald. We're going to scald it. So that is sitting that's our cream in the cream of corn soup that we're making.
So you called it every name in the book. No, we used that joke before. It's scalding, not scolding.
Not scolding, scalding.
Okay.
So I'm going to let these onions sweat out and get translucent. We've got a few more minutes, and then we'll come back and start putting the pieces together for our cream of corn soup. Okay, Ralph, our onions are just perfect. I've got 4 tablespoons of flour here.
Okay. All-purpose?
All-purpose, regular all-purpose flour. I'm going to stir that in, and that is going to kind of coat with the onions and the butter. We want to cook that.
So the heat's
flour.
still on?
The heat is still on, medium heat. But I want to cook that raw flour for about a minute. Okay?
That's how you're going to create your cream?
Yes, that's going to be a
roux.
Yes, a thickener, exactly right, Ralph. But what I'm going to do is I've got 3 cups of just water here at the ready. That'll be the next thing that goes in. Okay? So, this is a great soup to have with just a salad or, just a loaf of really yummy, crusty, warm bread would be ideal.
Right. A lot of people are staying home baking bread, they say, these days. So maybe that would be a good thing to go with your sourdough.
We cannot live by bread alone, right?
No, we have to have some cream of corn soup in there.
So this would be good. just go a minute, like I said, on cooking this out. And it'll almost start to take, you smell the onions, but through the onions you'll start to smell kind of a
nutty.
Yeah, that nutty. Are you picking up on that a little bit?
Yeah, like the flour's getting cooked. You can tell it's no longer raw.
Okay, so now we're going to take our 3 cups of water and add that in. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to bring this up to a boil and kind of
combine it all.
Yeah, going to break up the onions and the flour and keep stirring. In the meantime, Ralph, what I've got 4 chicken bouillon cubes here that I've crushed up. Okay, and I've got I want to make sure I have it right, a 1/2 teaspoon of white pepper.
Oh, okay.
And just maybe 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper.
I think that's called a smidge, technically.
A smidge, a pinch, a dash.
So instead of the bouillon cubes, could you use like a chicken soup base?
You could.
Okay.
Yep. So
whatever would equal about 4 cubes.
Yeah. So it's about about maybe 4 teaspoons. So I'm going to put this in now, so that chicken bouillon can dissolve too as this comes up to a boil.
Okay.
Okay. And we're just going to get this up. Once this comes up, then we will add in our corn. All right, and have that cook in here. But I want to bring this up to a boil because that's when it's going to thicken slightly.
I see.
All right. So Ralph, I don't know if you can get in here. Can you see how this is thickened up?
Yes. I'm getting kind of taking on the yellow kind of chickeny color.
Yeah. And that's from the bouillon cubes. But so now we kind of have a thickened stock here. And it's bubbling. So now what I want to do is I want to add our 20 ounces
of corn.
Okay, we get all of our frozen corn in there and stir that in. And what we want to do is we want to bring this back up to temp and then reduce to a simmer. And we're going to let this corn cook for about 20 minutes.
So when you buy frozen corn, is it raw? Uncooked?
You know what? It probably is. I don't know. I think it is probably raw.
Okay.
Because frozen corn is intended to be cooked. So, but I have to tell you, there's some really good frozen corn out there that's nice and sweet, and it's frozen right from the harvest time. So, anyways, I'm going to bring this up to simmer. And again, reduce the heat, and looks like it's just coming. See how it's just starting to bubble here?
Yes.
So I'm going to turn that down, cover it, let it cook for about 20 minutes. So Ralph, it's been simmering for about 20 minutes.
Oh, good.
Take a look. Now, this next part is up to you. I like to have some of the corn broken up a little bit rather than keep it whole kernel like that.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is, using a blender or a food processor, if you have an immersion blender, that works too.
An emergency blender?
Immersion.
I know, just
yeah, we have emergency blenders actually.
So this will break it up, and that's just the corn, but the onion too, it looks like.
And the onion too, yeah, it will. So we're going to do this in batches. You could save some of the
to have a little variety.
Yeah,
of
a little of the whole kernel.
Or you could do it all, depending on how you like it. But now it looks like cream of corn.
Now, whenever you put something hot in a blender,
stand back.
Well, one, don't fill it up all the way. Don't even fill it up halfway. Fill it up about 1/3 of the way. And always have a towel at the ready, okay? because sometimes what happens is from the heat it'll pop up.
Oh, so you're keeping your hand on
Yes.
it to keep the pressure from making a little 4th of July holiday in
Exactly.
in
Now
the
what I'm
winter.
going to do is I'm going to pour that. See? Okay.
Doesn't that look yummy?
Now, let's do our next batch here. Again, we won't do all of it. It'll be nice to have some whole kernels in there, but
Also nice to have it broken down so it's more creamy.
Yeah, because after all, this is cream of corn soup. We don't have the cream in yet either, by the way. So, I'm going to finish this, Ralph. I probably got maybe 2 more batches to do, and then we'll come back and put on the finishing touches of our cream of corn soup.
Oh, so you're pouring it directly back into the...
Putting it back in.
Okay.
Let me get a spatula.
So it's up to each of our viewers how much whole kernel corn they want to leave in there.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever the texture is that people like.
Or variety, but it's you actually took out more than I thought you would, and I kind of like that because you don't need a lot to.
No, you want you sort of want the presence of corn.
Yes,
but
plus it's still kind of chunky. It's not like it's all turned completely into a velvety, smooth cream.
But it just has that wonderful
corniness,
corn smell. Okay, so here we go. Now we stir, and we kind of incorporate that in. Okay, now that is done, we're going to take our scalded light cream that we had. Okay, half and half, and I'm going to add this into the pot. This is the cream.
This is the secret ingredient that makes it the cream of corn soup.
And we're going to stir this in. I'm going to bring the temperature. You just want to bring it up to serving temperature, okay? This does not, you don't want to ever boil anything with, cream in it.
Right, and it's already been scalded anyway.
And it's already been scalded, but we do want to just bring it up to a serving temperature.
To help it break down and integrate all the cream with the corn stuff.
See what you're doing.
I learned from watching.
So, okay. And you know what, Ralph? That's the best way. Okay, so here we go. So now that's in. Now, just to add a little depth, a little like umami, okay? I've got just a teaspoon of Worcestershire.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to put that in. Okay? That will also help with, you'll notice we didn't really put any salt in here.
Right.
We may have to give it a little salt. We're going to do a taste test.
But the chicken bouillon was salty.
Yes, that was it. That's why I kind of held back, because I didn't want to over salt with the bouillon in. So, and I might want a little pepper. So this is where, folks, when you see something in a recipe that says season to taste, this is what they're talking about.
What, have you come over and taste it? No, each chef has to taste their own.
Right, and it's to your own taste. So, as an example, I'll tell you, Ralph probably likes things saltier than I do. And that's just right.
Who, me, the cameraman?
Yeah, you the cameraman.
Quit telling my secrets.
Well, that's okay, because some people like things a little saltier. Some people like things a little less salty.
Well, I don't put salt on potato chips.
No, that's true.
In fact, I like the potato chips with less salt.
Wow.
What do you think? Does it have enough salt?
No, actually.
Speaking
I
of
think it could use a little.
After all that, making me look like the salt glutton.
But and I mean, it doesn't need much.
Yeah. I think,
and I'm going to put a little sprinkle of pepper in there too. But I mean, I'm just going to put in a little bit
probably like
of
what,
salt,
quarter
maybe
teaspoon?
a quarter teaspoon, and a little.
And you put white pepper in already too.
I did
you?
put white pepper, and you can taste that. You know, white pepper has a little bit of a different profile than the black pepper because the white pepper doesn't have the skin or the outer part of the peppercorn that's removed.
It's almost
that's
smoother.
why it's. But it also has a more of a pungent kind of bite to it.
I've always loved cream soup, but I never knew that you used a blender and actual cream.
Yeah, and the cream in a cream soup, it always goes in at the end. Because again, cream's not something you want to boil or cook for a long time. So, that's right on.
Oh, you let me try it?
I'll let you try a spoonful. And you tell me if you think it's salty enough. It's just the right temperature, by the way. So, what do you think?
Ooh. It's got a sweetness to it from the corn.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that sweetness. I like the creaminess. Definitely getting a corn flavor. I don't think it needs anything more.
Well, there you go. So, a soup to make in the cold of winter here, very easily with frozen corn from the store and a few other ingredients.
Because in the summertime, corn off the cob is also good, but in the wintertime, corn is also good because it's comfort either way.
Exactly right. And you know what? We serve this with, again, a salad,
rustic bread,
or a nice crusty piece of bread and butter, and you have got yourself a meal fit for
big meal
royalty. So, anyways, thank you as always for spending some time with us as we put together this cream of corn soup. Hope you enjoy the recipe.
Don't we love having our friends with us?
We do. Cooking in the kitchen with friends is always the best. So we appreciate you spending time with us. Thank you for subscribing, for liking.
Feel free to make a comment.
And, for commenting. Stay warm if you're in a part of the country like we are that's just dealing with winter. And we will look forward to seeing you again real soon, right here on Cavalcade of Food. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.